Hello, this is Nicholas Ciccarelli on International Etiquette and Protocol for Professor Montaglione's Training Needs and Methods due March 1st, 2014. First thing we're going to do is define international etiquette and protocol. For the purpose of this speech, we're going to look at this as the broad terms. What it can do for government officials, the individual, or even businessmen, such like that. Etiquette in this example is more of the actual how you would be perceived in that country through your actions, or how you perceive their actions on the knowledge that you have based on it. Even your environment is a real key thing to think about when you're thinking about no spitting signs. Even in China, it's so prevalent there that you have to tell people you cannot spit here. So take that south. As far as it goes for international protocol, we're going to define it as the actual mechanics of interacting with people, the how you present yourself at a speech, how you interact with the president, how you interact with your friends or a local merchant at the market. Thumbs up is an example for this. You see Bush giving the presidential thumbs up or the wave. It was acceptable maybe in Europe or America, but you take that same simple wave to Australia and it's the equivalent of a middle finger. So something worth keeping in mind. When was etiquette really starting to get, etiquette and protocol really starting to get defined? It's probably kind of an unwritten code that's always been there. What you got to think of it as, you know how to act in situations within your own society, but when you get to Spain and they're acting a certain way, or Asia, they're eating their food a certain way, eye contact a certain way, showing respect a certain way, it's kind of different. You can think of ambassadors and everyone else just of the old days of the Renaissance traveling around between Spain, England, and Europe. They're kind of would understand each other a little more versus an ambassador that had to go to Tahiti and witness cannibalism and what it's like when Captain Cook reacts to you breaking a treaty. What are some of the things to immediately be aware of when you're thinking about etiquette, protocol, manners maybe is a way to look at it. You're looking at the hygiene of things. How do I eat my food correctly? When should I wash my hands? Is a handshake, a kiss on the cheek, what is the personal space? It kind of falls into hygiene. Courtesy manners, the actual courtesy of who speaks first at the dinner table, how do you speak, your projection, letting the other individual know that what they have to say is just as important to you as your information, or even more important, which is kind of just a general rule of thumb around the world. Cultural norm when it comes to manners, you're talking about, once again, the mechanics of things. Do I eat now? Should I look you in the eyes when I speak to you? Look away, kind of common practices, anything between social instruction and government policy. So who can benefit from this kind of knowledge? Well, it seemed, like I said, that we're keeping it broad. So everybody, government officials, instructors, supervisors to workers, neighbors, relatives, businessmen, and even in your, none of those things apply when you're on your general travels around the world, like tourism. Benefits to this, you're looking at it from a management standpoint, business, time lost with incorrect social interactions, etiquette, how you communicate with your workers, officials, how you strike deals, less business and social losses due to improper protocol. Once again, it's the same idea of how you mechanically do these things. You might understand what is to be done, but how to actually perform the function. Once again, it goes back to connecting to productivity. If you're a business or officials, you get more productive things, not having to explain yourself in incidents, or why the deal isn't going through as smoothly as possible. And it gives you more opportunity in your professional and social lives, being able to travel and do these things effectively. The future of etiquette and protocol kind of falls on the private industry right now, kind of who is the most reputable. Certain organizations are doing certified protocol professionals, CPPs, and certified etiquette professionals. You can see right now they're copywritten, and which means there's no other government officials or regulatory commissions to say you are officially certified in this, much like an educational program. Today it's more accessible than it ever has been to get to cultural activities, how people function and stuff like that. And it's really important when you consider how people interact and why you should know these things in your life. Key points that we've learned from this so far is that you gotta know you gotta know how to travel and communicate effectively without presenting an offense on an international level to improve yourself, like I said, professionally and personally. It's always been there throughout history. Etiquette will be there, it has been there, and it will continue to evolve into the future, much like we're saying now. The field of etiquette and protocol is expanding tremendously, much like you can compare it to safety and teaching, for an example, of how an everyday, even it improves business, government officials, even how an everyday person could improve themselves.